Okay, due to technical difficulties, we will not have footage of the Smash fights going on.
It's fine. We're gonna go for a podcast vibe today, guys.
Alright. In the last matchup that we was not on air, it featured Little Mac, the pink boxer from yesterday, and the same metal orb guy named Meta Knight. It was an intense battle, but Mac eventually defeated him 2 stocks to 0, giving Nevada a advantage heading into the next round.
We will still show the score, by the way.
For our next matchup, we have Bowser and Little Mac. Um, Slay, slay, slay. Oh, I gotta grab something real quick.
Okay, so Little Mac had to SD once because he lost a stock in the last match. The Bowser goes immediately for a hit. And it's hard for the Little Mac to avoid because he's quick, but sometimes it's hard for him to get out of a hit. We have Little Mac at 63, and Little Mac is at 77, and Bowser's at 55. He has got KO punch, which means if he presses B, he will have a supercharged move. Right now, my name is Melissa, and I'm shoutcasting. Our Little Mac loses 1 stock, while the Bowser still has 3 stocks with him.
Is this a camp break? Or who's decided it?
All right, Bowser's using his fire breath to burn the Little Mac.
Boy.
Little Mac charges up a hit but misses. Bowser spikes him to the ground, and then spikes him. Little Mac punches him. Bowser's not a very high percentage, and he gets launched into the infinite abyss above. It is now 2 stocks to 1 in favor of Lake M, the school that we are facing. It's a very real name. All right, going into the match, Bowser spikes him up into the air again. Little Mac recovers. Little Mac slams down, whips the punch, shields, launches him off. Gets a very nice charged up hit. Bowser's now at 79%, with Little Mac at 135% on 1 stock. Bowser now climbs to 97% at a very dangerous percentage, and he gets launched into the infinite abyss. And he survives a very dangerous hit.
No. Ding ding time.
And we lost 3. We should be at 12.
No. Come on, you got this.
You have the score flip back.
No way. Come on.
Oh, and he takes a tough loss there at the end, with being slammed into the ground by Bowser. Little Mac was just too light to overcome the weight deficit. For our next matchup, we will have Bowser versus Joker, not to be confused with DC's Joker, as he is not owned by Nintendo. It is a different Joker.
Very different.
Very, very different, in fact. Since Bowser lost 2 lives last game, he must self-destruct twice. Nevada now has a 3-1 stock advantage. Joker with a nice grab and kick.
Yes. Skill.
30% combo. He continues to. Bowser is used to fighting Italian plumbers and not versatile characters from video games that I have not played.
No! What was that? I didn't press air dodge. I swear on my mom.
Joker takes a quick, tough fall off stage into the infinite abyss where you're forced to watch every Friends episode on repeat. As mentioned from yesterday's stream, Bowser had a very high percentage. However, he may need to get it up to a higher percentage because Joker does not have a very high kill attack. Right. He grabs him, 3 punches, throws into the air. Bowser now 124%. Joker at 56%. Another down spike slam. He's spinning some more. And Joker finishes him off with 2 stocks. Joker wins. We once again apologize for the lack of video. We will attempt to get it back up next match.
No, we won't.
Or we won't. Well,
we will not be getting the video stream back this stream.
right, I meant the next stream.
Like
I think
actual stream?
yeah.
Okay.
I think I may have messed up the sentence just a little bit, but it's all right. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying. I really am trying. All right, up to this next match, we have Joker versus Cloud. Both, I imagine, are very hard to picture without the actual video, but please do your best. All right, Joker starts out with 34%, Cloud at 10%. Cloud charging up his attack. I'm being informed that it's called a limit. All right, Joker with a nice counter. Both at pretty... Ooh, Joker hits a...
This guy smashed this guy.
Now, even though our sponsors are not present in the corner of the screen, we'd like to thank them once more. Thank you, Nevada Lodge 99, HR Green, New Cara, Arnold Motors. That should be all of them. Thank you so much for making all of this possible.
Yes, we are aware, Joe.
We are fully aware that the visuals are not. We know.
All right, forward. Joker at a very high percentage, looking to finish off Cloud, retaining both of his stocks. Cloud is only at 21%, so he'll need to make a good comeback here. 37% combo. All right.
I was holding shield. Calm down.
Joker unfortunately loses a stock, but he does have a huge percentage advantage with Cloud currently at 71%, and being a lighter character, it won't take much to finish him off. They're now punching each other. Joker no longer needs to worry about conserving his percentage, so he's going a bit more aggressive in his tactics. And Cloud falls off the edge into the infinite abyss. Joker wins again and retains 1 stock heading into the next match, which means he'll be down at a 2-stock deficit. For our next matchup, we have Joker versus Ridley. Ridley is essentially a giant, scary dragon, and Joker is a guy in a trench coat. It's a very even matchup. All right, and Joker, obviously, he must self-destruct twice, meaning that he'll start the game at a 2-stock deficit. As we go on, get into the match. Ridley starts out aggressive with a grab, and then Ridley slamming down multiple times. He gets grabbed by Joker. Both are at pretty even percents right now. Joker manages to take the first stock from Ridley. Unfortunately, he does. Takes a nice grab. Joker currently at 77%. Does need to worry about now at 100. Oh, takes a tough hit. Controversial ending.
He falls off stage. He's hit off stage.
Into
Somehow
the
doesn't recover.
and he was hit into the infinite abyss, forced to watch Friends for the rest of eternity.
The rest of eternity, man. That's too long.
We are not sponsored by Friends.
No, but you know who we are sponsored by.
New Cara and Nevada Lodge 99 and Arnold Motors. And I'm forgetting one. HR Green. I said them, didn't I?
We don't have those showing up here. Currently, we only have our score and the background, as you can see. So we're doing this off of memory.
We're putting in maximum effort with what we're given.
Okay.
All right. Up next, we have Brendan playing as Ganondorf. He will again be playing Ridley. Ridley will start the game at a 1-stock disadvantage. He self-destructs. Ganondorf is essentially a man wearing a cape with a large sword who is a thief in the desert. That's his backstory. One of Ganondorf's weaknesses is that he's incredibly slow. Ganondorf starts the game at a high percentage at about 79%. Ridley now at 45%. Ridley is way faster than Ganondorf, making this a big mismatch. All right, continuing the fight, Ganondorf uses a kick to kick Ridley, the dragon. We are not sponsored at all by any dragons, but we do acknowledge that dragons are cool.
Also, Ganondorf did lose his stock by SD, but we think he'll recover.
Ridley is at a very high percentage, and he's thrown off the edge into the infinite abyss.
With a bad DI.
Mm-hmm. Ganon is. I'd like to take a moment to thank Electrical Outlets for making this stream possible. Thank you, Electrical Outlets. All right, we're now at we'd like to thank our viewers for sticking with us through this adverse time. We appreciate you being here and watching this triangle revolve around the Nevada Cubs logo while I try and do my best to describe what's going on. All right, so for this next matchup, we actually have Ganondorf versus Lucas. Lucas, I have no idea. Oh, no, that's Ness. Excuse me. I got the characters wrong. Ness, I have no idea what game he's from, but he loves to say PK Fire and spam the same move. But over here, Ganondorf is now at 69%. Lucas, Ness, excuse me, still at 0. Now he does take. Ness is only about the age of 6 years old. Coming into question, should people be charged with child abuse for beating him in a game? And takes a tough loss. Ganon does.
We have one player left after. Wait, is it 1 or 2?
Dose.
We have 2 players left after this one. We'll see what happens.
I'm doing a great job. I haven't even mentioned. Alright, continuing the fight, Jigglypuff is at 1 stock with Lucas at 2.
I told you not to use them. Actually worse than rollout.
Continuing on, they're about even in percentage, but Lucas has a 2 stock advantage. Continuing on, Lucas taking some damage. Both are at very high percentages. One good hit could send him into the infinite abyss, forced to watch Friends for all of eternity. Both hesitant to make a move as they know if they whiff one move, it could send them into the infinite void. And we already know what happens when he gets sent into the void. Jigglypuff does manage to take off 1 stock from Lucas, but he's inevitably 2 stocked, meaning that for our final fighter, we'll have a 1 stock advantage, but we'll see if he can overcome the struggles of our recent fighters. using Pokemon Trainer to fight the infamous Lucas, who has been terrorizing our team for a while.
We're having Joe play Pokemon Trainer. I don't think that was heard before.
Now, the first Pokemon that will be used is Squirtle, who is basically a turtle. The turtle is punching the small child into the air. The small child dodges with his young spryness.
With the person playing Pokemon Trainer, he has 3 different characters that he can play in one match.
Yes.
Because the Pokemon Trainer throws out 3 different Pokemon. We have Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charizard. Ivysaur. I don't know Pokemon at all. I'm so sorry.
A better way to know it is Turtle Dog Plant Guy, who is also a toad. And we also have a Charizard, which is basically just a dragon. Moving on. Ooh, and he's thrown off the edge. Both are at very high percentages, looking for the final strike to send the other into the infinite abyss, forced to watch Friends for all of eternity. Now, I'd like to take a moment to recognize that we are not sponsored by Reese's Pieces or Lifesaver Gummies, but if you were to give me a bag of them, they're probably gone. So, now, he takes a tough hit from the 6-year-old child, sending him into the infinite abyss.
Who's he?
Joe does that. Now, Lucas is at a very high percentage, and he is knocked into the infinite abyss.
He gets spiked, which is when a character goes off stage and the other character hits them, so that they immediately fall to their death.
What? I think that's the only move in the game that Squirtle
Alright, the Squirtle sprays water in the child's face, which is very bad because its main source of power is fire. So the turtle is very good at countering the moves.
Why do people, like, I know for a fact, whoever's playing is behind that monitor, and they...
Excuse me, it's Lucas. I'm sorry, everyone.
This man doesn't know his gameplay.
I'm sorry that I don't know the name of every 6-year-old child in Smash Bros. But moving on.
Hashtag Cooper canceled.
Well, maybe I'll just leave then.
Yeah, that would be fine. We can have other people do it.
Alright, continuing on. Both are at very high percentages, with Charizard looking to get the final strike. Lucas at 142%, and he gets spiked into the ground. Joe wins with a 2-stock advantage.
And that is match 1 over. We have 2 more matches to decide who really wins.
Alright, for our next matchup, we have the Lucas from next match versus Josiah using Joker. Alright, right off the bat, Lucas takes 35% in damage, now 46%. Not a great way to start for Lake Mill. Yes. Now, Joker hits him in the air again. Lucas attempts to recover, gets him now at 90% and 45%. Lucas heals. Now he's back at 90. Over here, Lucas falls off the edge.
Then go sit by him and do it.
They're smashing.
Go. What? That's what lag was. You're so
Ouch.
Joker takes a tough edge guard, and now they're even at stocks, but with Ness and Lucas at a tough 45% disadvantage.
You said that. Lucas.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, folks, but I don't know. They both look so similar. Are they even different people? Does Ness even exist? This, I don't know. We'll leave that up to you, the viewers, to decide. Moving on. So, this fight does come at a bit of a height disadvantage, as Joker's around 5 foot 11 inches, and Lucas, being a 6-year-old child, stands about 4 foot 2 tall. These are all very real heights. Moving on. Continuing the fight, Lucas is at a very high percentage, with Joker at about halfway point. Lucas now at a very high percentage, past 100. Very close. Ooh, and he gets spiked into the Infinite Abyss. And we are not sponsored by the Infinite Abyss, of course. It is its own separate financial entity, which pays no federal income tax. Moving on. Now, Lucas goes up to about 62% after taking that fall at 1 stock. Going forward, Lucas is now at 93%. Ooh, Joker gets spiked into the ground, unfortunately. Both at 1-1 stock, but with that Lucas at a 109% disadvantage. Whiffs a hit, takes 18% of damage. It'd be a lot funnier if I could make
No.
Lucas with an incredible comeback, taking
Explain what happened.
So right at the end there, Lucas made a comeback and spiked Joker into the Infinite Abyss twice, which is a very instant way to die, meaning that Lucas moves on with 1 stock. He will face Vinny and Little Mac next round. Coming up for our next match, as I stated before, we have Lucas and Little Mac. Little Mac being a boxer in all pink attire with green boxing gloves, and Lucas being a 6-year-old child. Now, he does have to self-destruct twice, meaning that Little Mac will start the game with a 3-1 stock advantage. He begins to do warm-up squats on the stage while Lucas is self-destructing. He takes a tough 31% deficit and gets grabbed. Now at 59%, struggling to recover. Struggling to land a hit on Lucas, being a 4'2", 6-year-old child. with a snake as a best friend. I would want to avoid him too.
I wonder what this Lucas player looks like because they are goaded. Like
I would suspect that they kind of look like.
Joe. Oh my god.
Man, now Little Mac with an impressive 3-stock victory after jumping out to a 100% deficit, uppercuts him into the infinite abyss, where not only will he be forced to watch Friends for all of eternity, but he will be forced to eat only cornflakes and bananas.
So sad.
Next matchup, we will have Little Mac versus Bowser. Same thing as last time. I'm pretty sure they fought last time, so this will be their second debut. Both will start with 3 stocks, as Little Mac was able to defeat Lucas without losing a stock. Now, what Bowser likes to do is utilize the spikes on his back to poke the opponents. And-
What is his like spinny? What is that?
Now, folks, I couldn't tell you what that is, but all I know is that Bowser is a lizard.
A technique called spin jitsu.
Yes,
No.
Watch Ninjago, you would.
I'm being told from an anonymous source that he has actually learned this from the hit show Ninjago, which first aired in 2010.
Are we talking about things? Ding ding at magic number. Ding ding at magic number. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which first aired in 2010. What was that? What are you talking about?
Now, despite the criticism that my commentary is receiving right now, I will continue to do this. Now, Bowser has very heavy, powerful strikes, which is hard for lighter characters like Little Mac to overcome, but he's doing a good job so far. Now, Bowser is at 93%, hits him off the edge. Now at 108%, both at very dangerous percentages, and Little Mac hits him off the edge 3-1. Now, Little Mac will obviously be looking for the 3-stock victory in order to maintain the dominance heading into the later rounds. Bowser falls at 32%, struggling to land a hit on Little Mac with his elusiveness and traditional boxing style. But moving on here. He's a nice counter, sending Bowser flying off the edge. He is able to recover, but he is at 72%. Ooh. Little Mac takes a tough loss there at the end. 2-1. Moving on here. Bowser at 97%, Little Mac at 33%, both kind of dancing around each other. Little Mac falls under him twice and gets hit by the spikes. And Little Mac takes a tough fall off the edge, because Little Mac doesn't have that great of a recovery as do many other fighter-based characters in this game. Now Bowser is now at 136%, and he fails to recover, meaning that Little Mac will take the victory with 1 stock heading into the next match. Once more, I'd like to thank our sponsors, which are not visible on the screen: Nucara, Nevada Lodge 99, Arnold Motors, and HR Green. Thank you for making these events possible. Now, for our next match, we will have Little Mac and Ridley, which I'm pretty sure they also faced off in the last match. Ridley will in fact have a two stock advantage, and Little Mac sort of taunting him while falling off the edge to restart the match. Ridley once again is a big scary dragon, and Little Mac is quite susceptible to some of Ridley's moves, including being grabbed and slid across the floor, launched off the side of the stage. Ridley does fall off, but since he is a dragon and can fly, he's able to recover pretty easily. Now, over here. Now, both are at similar percents. Little Mac at 76 and Ridley at 86. After that move, Little Mac is now at 101%. Both very dangerous. And Little Mac now Ridley loses his first stock. Little Mac did take a lot of damage though. Looking to take off another stock at least heading into the next round to give our next fighter an advantage. And unfortunately, he will actually survive.
Oh! Explain what happened.
Little Mac was spiked into oblivion, and Ridley moves on with a 2-stock victory.
Little Mac tried to make a recovery and almost did, but then, like as Cooper said, the Ridley just spiked him and he was gone.
For our next matchup, we will have Jigglypuff versus Ridley. Jigglypuff being basically a ball of cotton candy with cat ears, and Ridley being a big scary dragon. We'll see how this shakes up. Moving on. All right, to start the match off, Ridley must self-destruct 2 times, I believe.
No, it's just one.
Or just 1, excuse me. Now, the fight will begin with Jigglypuff and Ridley both landing hits. Ridley at 51%, Jigglypuff at 27%, now at 46%, 62%. Now, although Ridley is bigger than Jigglypuff, it is hard to hit him because he is skinny and fast. Now, unfortunately, he fails to do his sleeper move. Takes a brutal hit off stage, forced to watch Friends for all of Oblivion.
Exactly, and it's slower. You don't get. It's so much slower.
Now, moving on, Ridley at a very high percentage. He attempts to hit Jigglypuff with fireballs, and he's hit off the edge. Jigglypuff currently winning 2-1.
That's it. No.
It's fine.
Continuing on, Ridley now is at 68%. Jigglypuff at 36% with a 1-stock advantage. Really now getting into dangerous. Now, Jigglypuff Ridley attempted to grab Jigglypuff and throw him off the edge, but he's able to recover.
Because he's a ball of cotton candy.
Because he's a ball of cotton candy, extremely light and very easy to fly. He survives another vicious attack from Ridley, but he can't survive the third. Now, 1-1. Ridley is, in fact, at 104%, meaning that he can be defeated pretty easily. Takes a rough combo, but only takes 16% of damage from it. Now at 32%, doubles the damage. 51%, not trending in the right direction. Ridley looking to make a comeback. 114%, 1 good hit, and he's probably dead.
But that's the same. It goes the same way for the Jigglypuff too.
Seeing as the Jigglypuff is incredibly light and is in fact a ball of cotton candy.
And
Jigglypuff is able to land the final hit, and he will take a 1-stock victory heading into the next round. He will be at a 2-stock disadvantage. next matchup, we will have Jigglypuff versus Meta Knight. We've had Meta Knight on here before in the past 2 days. Meta Knight is similar to Jigglypuff in that he is a sphere. The difference is that Meta Knight has wings and is covered in armor, and he's very angry at the taxes that he has to pay because he's an Olympic medalist.
He actually is from Kirby, like a game with Kirby, I believe.
Yes, he is the main antagonist. Don't quote me on that. He's the main antagonist, right? Oh, wait, we were still recording. Disregard everything I just said. Thank you to our sponsors, which does not include the Snickers Company. Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight is at a very high percentage disadvantage, 45 to 90, almost twice the deficit. Here we go, 54. Moving on. Now, Gavin, aka Jigglypuff, is in fact at 1 stock, meaning that 1 loss here would mean that he is out for the rest of the night. And unfortunately, he is unable to recover after falling. Meta Knight takes a 3 stock victory, and we will start with a fresh fighter next round, 3v3. I'd like to thank our sponsors again, Nucera, Nevada Lodge 99, Arnold Motors, and HR Green. And I'd also like to thank some of our non-sponsors, such as Brick Walls, which allow us to be in this room right now, and Electrical Outlets for keeping our stream powered, and also our viewers who continue to watch, even though they've just been staring at a triangle GIF for this entire time. So thank you all for that. Now, continuing on to the fight, we have Ganondorf versus Meta Knight. Ganon being fighted by Brendan.
Fighted?
It's a real word. Look it up in the dictionary, folks. Right. Now, Brendan loses a first stock by being unable to recover. Meta Knight only took 15 things of damage. It's quite an unfortunate turn of events for Brendan. Moving on here. Ganon is able to recover this time. Both are at pretty even percentages.
Only because the Meta Knight saved him.
Yes,
He ran out of recovery, and the Meta Knight hit him, so he was able to regain his recovery.
Ganon is quite large and slow with very heavy armor, which makes him susceptible to quick attacks by characters such as Meta Knight. He is able to take the second stock by kicking him off the stage to the side. And if you fall to the right side, you're not only forced to watch all of Friends, but you are forced to sit next to strangers on the bus for eternity. Now, continuing on. Man, he's getting launched high into the air.
What?
Now Ganondorf fails to recover for a second time, meaning that Meta Knight is now at a 2-to-1 disadvantage.
Okay, but we don't want to leave the viewers with literally nothing, because our stream isn't working. We're going for kind of like a podcast vibe.
Now, both characters, fun fact, are wearing capes. Now, we are not sponsored by capes. Now, Ganondorf unfortunately falls for a third and final time, meaning that Meta Knight will enter the next match with a 2-stock advantage.
So it's the
For our next matchup, we have Pokemon Trainer versus Meta Knight. Pokemon Trainer is the fighter behind him is Joe. As we've seen both of these characters before, mm, Squirtle will be the first Pokemon to start out with. He will start at a 2-stock advantage. As we continue on. Accidentally walks into a sword.
Dang, I hate when that happens.
I know, it's very relatable. I'm sure it happens to all of us.
short on Meta Knight was being his biggest weakness.
Yes. Also the fact that he is a sphere. I'm sure that doesn't do good for his internal organs or really any part of his body. But
Super armor on the side be kicking in though.
yes. No. We hope you're enjoying watching the triangle revolve around the smaller triangle. But fun fact: if your character loses in Smash Bros, they're sent into the infinite abyss, where not only are they forced to watch every episode of Friends on repeat for eternity, but they're also forced to watch the triangle that you're seeing now.
Also every single dream video. Because they are canonically stuck in Minecraft.
This is all very canon information and can be
Maybe
taken
the
as
only
fact.
canon one is Minecraft being the blast zones.
Maybe. Moving on. Meta Knight is at 127% and he's now being thrown off the edge by a.
What is that?
We now have Joe at 2 and Meta Knight at 1. Joe switches back to Squirtle.
This is a very super close match.
It's not that chilly.
Continuing on, we've switched back to Toad Dog, Plant, Frog, thing. Just gonna continue to. This is a very intense match, very back and forth.
Yoshi's not easy to play. You're just there, dude. I had him at the neutral, the 10.1. No, it was at 10.1 because
The Pokemon trainer is trying to get any hit he possibly can because he did lose 1 stock. But that being said, the Meta Knight is only at 1 stock. So any powerful hit that. Yep, just like that.
And he is able to come away with a 2-stock victory over Meta Knight.
Hopefully he can take on the next person.
Yes. Next matchup, we have the Pokemon Trainer versus Cloud. Cloud is a guy with spiky hair and a sword.
Do not be doing Final Fantasy VII dirty like that.
As you could tell, neither one of us have very much video game lore background knowledge.
Apparently.
He's going to use the sword to hit the person and hopefully eliminate them.
Yeah, fun fact, Joe is the Steelers. So it's a 50-50 whether he'll win.
Now, despite the controversy that you're hearing on the mic, the match is going all right for Joe. Cloud is using his sword to
Miss limit.
hit the turtle dog toad plant guy.
Ivysaur.
Mhm.
Yep, that's the one.
Not to be confused with Bulbasaur, which has happened a lot.
Bulbasaur? Who's called him Bulbasaur?
People behind me, okay? I'm speaking from real experience.
That is an Ivy Sword down air, my friends.
He is able to send Cloud into the infinite abyss.
Known as Minecraft. Anyways, hopefully this triangle is getting entertaining enough for all of you.
Again, we're sorry about that.
Yes, but we are also sorry to announce
So we're about to win.
that we are not sponsored by triangles.
Yeah, I don't see any landing out there.
Down hill, up air, and air. A lot more back here. A lot more back here.
Unfortunately, Joe loses his second stock, meaning that he's a one stock disadvantage.
I got screwed by Lucas. I got Lucas. Dude, I literally couldn't do anything. He was PK firing in, PK freezing.
We're so close to the end of this match, and it could really go either way.
This is very true.
Both are at similar percentages, while the Cloud has one more stock than our Pokemon trainer.
His sword is hitting the turtle dog plant guy a lot, and he's also susceptible to many grabs, as he is, in fact, an animal. Now, keeping in mind that we cannot hold animals responsible for war crimes.
What did you say?
I know
Shut up,
exactly.
bro. Shut up.
Good job, Joe. Yes, sir.
Joe takes another stock there at 1-1, but he is at a nearly 100% deficit. He'll have to.
It's based on
Unfortunately, Joe does lose the final stock
Funny.
at a down to the wire match.
Fun fact, Cooper wanted to leave after this match because he thought we were going to win, and we didn't, so we get another match of this triangle. Aren't you guys excited?
Alright, for our next matchup, we will have Joe using Pokemon Trainer yet again versus Ridley, the dragon from before. Now, I know we've been seeing these characters a lot. That is all I have to add. Now, start off, we will have a large scary dragon fighting a small turtle who uses water.
That's me and the child I babysit.
Now, over here,
He's side B. He's matching side B.
now,
Lighter than Terry, by the way.
now Ridley jumps off to a bad start, taking 71% of damage while returning none. Now it's 76. Does get 12 damage off on Squirtle. Moving on. Now, we are not sponsored by dragons, as I mentioned before. We are also not sponsored by triangles. I've said this.
We are sponsored by.
Nucara, Arnold Motor, Nevada Lodge
You have to
99,
be more excited about this. Cooper.
and HR Green. I love HR Green, man. They do so much, man. It's one of my favorite HR Greens to ever live. Anyway,
A dragon against a dragon, both having high percentages and 3 stocks.
now, one of these matchups would be popular in the country of Bulgaria because Dragons always agreed that they would fight. Now, while it can be debated where this current fight is taking place, I personally believe that it is being held in Uganda. Now, Squirtle lands a nice up attack on. Now,
Yeah, I was gonna say which one. They're both of us.
I can hold it. Okay. Now, moving on, we now have. He switches to the turtle dog plant toad guy. Both are at very even percentage and stocks. It's a very back and forth match. Now, he is able to. He, going into the next series, nice grab. No. And Joe takes the second stock. He will now have a 2-stock advantage at about 90%. He is a bit heavier than. Okay, now he's at 112%, so he is in danger of being knocked off the stage. He takes a tough hit from the fire of Ridley. And he loses the stock. We're now at 1-1, very even, down to the wire. Are you guys excited? Because I know I'm excited, even though you're looking at a triangle. Now. Both at even. Now, he switched back to Squirtle. And Squirtle is a very small turtle with a tail. Ridley is still a dragon. He cannot change. The only, I guess now, Ridley is at a very high percentage. He's in danger of being taken out. Squirtle falls down to 69%. 180% for Ridley. Switchbacks to Turtle Dog, plant guy. Moving on.
His Ganon is atrocious.
Continue. Continuing on. Ridley at a very high percentage, 75%. Even one more hit might do him in. We're now doing Dragon versus Dragon again. Bulgaria style. And he wins. He overcomes the deficit. That actually there was no deficit, but thanks for listening anyway. All right. All right. For our next matchup, we have Joe again using the Pokemon and Meta Knight, who likes to use his sword to hit people. Typically, this is frowned upon, but since it's taking place at a remote location in Bulgaria, it is quite moral. The Bulgarians love watching turtles and spheres and armor fight. It's one of their oldest traditions. Moving on. All right. Squirtle is at a disadvantage right now in terms of stock and percentage. Slight percent. He is kind of outplaying Meta Knight right now. And continuing on. Nice combo. Bringing him even within 0.1%. Moving on. No. there's been a lot of talk of a certain Balkan country lately, but we'd like to acknowledge that all of the Balkans also like to watch strange creatures fight each other. Um, and man, he gets blasted in the next week, kind of like a certain figure that I won't specify the name of. Now, now, I'd like to give a shout out to the people of England who recently lost a very nice figure. We'd like to give them some nice words as they struggle through these very hard times. Thank you. I'd press the space bar, please. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta do it again.
Okay,
that was. Alright. Meta Knight comes away with a 2-stock victory. He will start the next match with a 1-stock advantage. You get that.
This kid's playing Mac on Kalos. Bro's gonna play against a Meta Knight on Kalos as Mac.
Me and Joe have been playing the best. And I'm playing better.
Oh, the crazy taunt. Oh wow,
wow.
He's camping, bro.
The skill in Little Mac. The amount.
I hate this Meta Knight. This Meta Knight sucks.
The amount of skill that he's showing right now.
The air dodge or the.
Oh, he's using the brain power.
Oh, that's gonna break shield next time. Oh, okay, and he should be back
Oh
at.
my goodness! Come on.
Bro's getting Meta Knighted.
Man needs to learn how to use the dodge.
Alright, we probably shouldn't trash talk him too much. He is technically,
Oh, hold on.
Competing.
Hold on.
but it's funny
Nah, he's playing a Little Mac.
for real. Even Luke knows that he's trash.
We aren't sponsored by Vinny, so it's fine.
That's facts.
Hold
Where are
on.
we sponsored by
Okay, he
again?
gets- he
We are
kills-
sponsored by
he
none other
kills
than
with this.
Nucara, HR Green, Arnold Motors, and Nevada Lodge 99. Thank you all so much.
Thanks again, Nevada Lodge, for that epic KO on the Meta Knight's part. Can you switch that? Alright. Cool. We big chillin' out here. Oh. Anyways, we're back with the Mac.
I'm kicking you off the chair.
Yeah, this Meta Knight kind of just waiting for. That was the longest F smash hold I've ever seen.
Hang on a second.
Yes, sir. Lucas on that stumble grind. The real gamers out here. All right, just one more stock from Vinny, and then he's outlived his usefulness. All right, let's see it, Vinny. Yes, sir. The one punch Mac coming through. Oof. The SDI goes crazy on this man. No down air. Oh, I thought he homie stocked you, bro. Homie stock? Homo stock? Sorry, this is sponsored. I did not mean to say that. On God, I do. Come on. Don't get 0 to death. Counter. Counter. He's mashing. He's mashing. Yes, sir. Bro, Little Mac. Get your. Anyways, sorry about that. Brief intermission. The triangle is still collecting its power. Our capture device will be back on fairly soon, hopefully. Maybe not. Oof. The SD. Roby is going to hard carry us. Yes, sir, Roby. Keep it up. You're right. So the Meta Knight down air, down throws to. He's doing Meta Knight things. Oh. 1 beta, 2 beta. Up smash to up air. Up throw. Bro, this guy just only has one direction. And he tornadoes. It that way. Tell me what ain't nothing but a good. Up and. Oh. The tech? No techs. And. Oh, and he misses the edge guard. He's trash. Bro almost got 0 to death. Come on, Roby, the comeback. Let's see it. What? All right, the Roby special's coming through. Yes, sir. One more time. One more time. Come on. Do it again. Oh, okay. That. Oof. Yes, sir. No spike or no tech. No tech.
Right. Our next matchup is King K. Rool versus Bowser. King K. Rool being fighted by Roby. No, it's a real term. Now, these are two very heavy, very large antagonists of video games. So, and he is able to suck up Bowser in his vacuum gun and shoot him out like a cannonball. And as I mentioned yesterday, using your enemy as I think it's either a weapon or a human shield, is in fact a war crime. But since he's a lizard, it doesn't matter. No. Now, unfortunately, he does lose his stock, but Bowser is at 95%, meaning that going forward, he is able to take a stock off Bowser, and I'm going to take a brief intermission. Right. Unfortunately, Roby was unable to defeat the other large lizard, Bowser, from the hit game Mario, debuting in 1979. It's 100% right. Except he was known as King of the Koopa, and not Bowser.
Not King of the Koopa.
I'm being told by an anonymous source that my information is factually incorrect. I'd like to thank the pink sticky note that's behind this computer telling me everything. Thank you for your kind contributions to this stream. Also, special shout out to Melissa's water bottle, which has been so gracefully left on this cart that the computer is resting on. So, shout out to you, water bottle. You're the real MVP of this match. For our next match, we will have Brendan using Ganondorf versus the same Bowser as last time. Ganondorf, he's basically just some, I don't know,
Some ugly blue guy.
yeah, he's a thief from the desert, and Bowser was doing a noble duty, attempting to overthrow the tyrannical monarchy of Mushroom Kingdom and instill democracy over all toads. But unfortunately, his plot was all ratted out by an Italian plumber and his brother, who was also an Italian plumber. Moving on from this.
Are you explaining Mario lore over the stream?
Now, at the start of the match, Ganon has dug himself into a bit of a hole, constantly being attacked by the spikes of Bowser.
Smash him. That's the move I know.
Lands a nice kick. Unfortunately, he misses the shield and loses the stock. They are now even at 2-2. Now, Bowser has found himself at a very high percentage, 128%. One good hit and it could be over for King Koopa.
What do you think? Roll in, roll out?
143.
Watch him smash attack. I guarantee you he'll do it out of habit.
And the attack was,
Next time he smashes
the
that,
kick
smash
was
forward.
successful,
No.
and now
Brendan, next time
Bowser
he smashes
is one stock less.
Yeah.
Now,
You better to stop.
moving on. Bowser is spinning around and I'm going to take a quick break to collect my thoughts. Ganondorf has found himself at a very high percentage. Can't afford one more hit. Unfortunately, he did take that hit, and now they're tied at 1-1 with Bowser at a 40% disadvantage. Make that a 56% disadvantage. Moving on here. Both are attempting to punch each other as the aim of the game.
Amazing commentary, Cooper. Keep it up. I love the commentary.
Bowser uses his turtle shell to hit the Desert Thief. And
Sour spot, I knew it was.
continuing on, the Desert Thief guy uses his shoulder. He's using his massive shoulders to hit Bowser off screen.
Neutral B.
And now he grabs him. And
Just imagine.
Bowser is now at 169%. Very dangerous. He's playing a bit defensive now, as he knows one hit and it could be all over.
Down tilt.
And that hit was delivered. The Desert Thief beats the king of turtles and other shelled beings. Nevada looking to finish the comeback and win in the final round. It's been a nail biter, folks. I know that I am currently trembling in excitement. You can hear it in my voice, which has been very different all stream. For our next matchup, we will have Ganondorf versus Cloud. Cloud, as I mentioned before, he's got spiky hair and basically a box cutter as a sword. And I've been told from an anonymous source that he is very dumb and not attractive. Ganondorf obviously must self-destruct twice due to the results of the last match. Now the fighting can begin. Ganondorf starts off with a 27% disadvantage. It's now down to he's winning. Now he's losing. Now he's losing. Now he's still losing. Now he's winning. Both are using their swords to hurt each other.
You're not like that.
Who is that?
Moving on.
I thought he was gonna air dodge down. It's the voices in his head, man.
Ganondorf uses his feet to inflict damage. Some may call this a kick. It's known as a kick in most regions of the world, not including Bulgaria.
I'll do it again. I'm gonna start using Joker up Shield.
Yeah.
With Artha.
Here's some trivia.
Oh my god.
So, which of these characters was a part of the original Smash Bros. Game? Is it A, Pikachu, B, Snake, C, Cloud, or D, Banjo and Kazooie? We'll have the answers right after the break. If you guessed A, Pikachu, you would be correct. Congratulations. Now, in the match, we have Ganondorf, unfortunately, taking a defeat. Nevada will now have one last person.
Okay, deep breaths.
I'd like to take a moment to thank water bottles
You're the reason why
for holding water and possibly other beverages. Thank you, water bottles. Big shout out. For our next matchup, we have Cloud versus Joker. And don't act so serious, everyone, because it's not the actual Joker.
I think you said that the last time was played.
Right. I'm going a bit crazy on everybody. It's just my self-diagnosed schizophrenia acting up.
That was cheating. Make the rest eat.
So,
True, so true. So true.
You can tell he's got a RAR too.
anyway.
Shoot him.
Pew, pew.
Fargo, by the way.
Side smash.
Joker is unfortunately hit by the box cutter blade of Cloud,
He is Fargo,
and
secretly.
Look at him back there.
as I stated before, this fight is taking place at an unnamed location in Bulgaria, and
Why Bulgaria?
because Bulgaria loves watching people fight
And they don't call kicks
with
kicks either.
unconventional weapons.
Up smash. Come on.
Not too
Can't
much.
lag.
Now, both are at dangerously high percentages, with
What are those percentages?
Cloud at 120% and Joker at 71%.
Cloud, he's gonna air dodge you.
87.
Now, as his name would suggest, Cloud is in fact quite light. Cloud loses the stock. Joker is left at 111%.
Oh, there we go.
Unfortunately, Joker loses a stock.
He's blasting
That
off
was his
again.
stock, though. That's not okay.
You literally didn't hit any
So-
buttons.
All right, back to the match. Cloud is at 72.4%, and Joker is at 84%. Despite taking place in Bulgaria, there is in fact no residents watching this fight besides us.
Only works on offense,
But-
I'm telling you.
We flew to Bulgaria for this match, actually.
Yes, we are coming to you live from Romania. I mean Bulgaria.
Really tried to play demon.
And Joker with a nice two-stock victory, defeating
You're
him.
the next Leo.
It will now come down to this final match to decide the winner. Nevada will start at a one-stock disadvantage. Shout out to the color purple for being here with us through the entire match. It's more than what we can say for some of our... I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Yellow too. Yellow too.
Yeah, yellow's pretty great too.
Not as good as purple.
Not as good as purple though.
He likes to do
For our next matchup, we have Joker versus Lucas. Now, we have been having trouble fighting Lucas, but
That's right, though. He's just a kid. We can beat kids.
yes, it's
In
quite
video games.
and Bulgaria. Now, as we go. All right. Coming up next. All right. Lucas comes out to a 59 for. Never mind, that information is no longer valid. Just shows you how fast things can change when you're fighting in Bulgaria. But
good.
all right. Joker with a nice
Keep
hit.
it up.
On guard.
Ah.
Now,
You got this.
Joker with a nice hit, sending Lucas into the infinite abyss.
Ah,
Now, here we go.
because it is.
Lucas hits him with a hexagon, and,
A hexagon.
or excuse me, that was a pentagon. No, wait, no. I was
it's a
correct.
hexagon.
It was a hexagon.
It's a hexagon.
Sorry, I have an anonymous source making me just a little bit angry, but that's okay. Moving on. So Lucas attempts to hit them with even more hexagons, but it's just not working. But we're gonna take a quick pause. Now back to the fight. Lucas fails to hit him with the hexagon. Despite not really working, he refuses to abandon the hexagon strategy. But unfortunately, Joker is grabbed. Joker loses a stock. He's now at a 75% advantage, but with a 1 stock disadvantage. Lands at 10%. Takes a couple of nasty hits from some more hexagons and his pet snake, who it doubles as a baseball bat. Some may consider this being animal abuse, but since Lucas has no legal guardian and he's a child, that he cannot be held legally responsible.
He's not an animal.
I'm talking about his pet snake.
Oh, fine.
PK fire.
Now, Lucas is now at 112% with...
That's good.
I'm killing myself.
Now we shut off the stream.
Unfortunately,
Someone give me an
Joker.
I'm driving there right.
I'd like to thank our sponsors one more time: Nucara, HR Green, Nevada Lodge 99, and Robert Motors. And thank you to all 7 people out there for watching this stream. We really appreciate you. This is time to say goodbye to the Triangle. He's been helping us a lot. So thank you all so much.